Hi, this is Adi here, and today I'm going to be showing you the bow warm-ups that I do every day. The goal of these warm-ups is to work on bow distribution, finger strength, arm strength, keeping the bow parallel with the bridge, and a good tone. I like to do these warm-ups every day before I start practicing my repertoire because it helps get my arm ready and my fingers ready and get the blood flowing, just everything. So for my bow warm-ups, I start with the lower quarter of the bow, just maybe this part up to here, and then I do every part of the bow after that. So I start with the lower quarter, and then the lower half, which is from the frog about to the middle half here. Then I do the rest of the bow, the upper half from about the middle, kind of to the tip here. And then the very last thing I do is I combine everything. I always have the same sequence that I do every time. It can be found in Sevchek Opus 2, number 1, but I can also show you that right now. I start the lower quarter practice with just these two fingers on the stick here. So the pinky should be curled like that, so it can kind of push down. And then the ring fingers on the bow as well. And then these two fingers, these do not touch the bow because it really helps to build strength in the pinky muscle and also in the hand, and it helps to condition the arm to play in the lower quarter without too much pressure. Next, I'm going to add all four fingers and try to keep the same feeling on the pinky and the ring finger, but now using the whole proper bow hold. After I do the lower quarter for the pinky and ring finger strength, the next thing I do is I start using the lower half of the bow, and I try to keep remembering what I just did when I play at the very bottom near the frog. But what I do is I start with these kind of pulses, like what the pulses are for is it's to help remember to have very smooth bow changes. So the idea is that you want to have every pulse be a similar feeling to when you change bows, so that the bow changes should have a similar continuity of just the pulses on the same bow stroke. It's really important while you're doing these bow warm-ups to make sure that the bow is parallel with the bridge the whole time. And so when I play, I really look and make sure that the bow is going to be parallel with the bridge on all parts of the bow on every string. Next, I move on and I do the lower half again, but I take away the pulses and I try to keep a very smooth bow changes, and also try to have a good tone and a really straight bow that's parallel with the bridge. I move on and I do pretty much the same thing with the upper half. I start with the pulses and then I go to using the whole upper half without the pulses, keeping the bow really straight and keeping a good tone and trying to keep my posture good and staying relaxed. So by now, I've finished with all the different parts of the bow, and so the last thing I do is to combine the whole bow together. I do pretty much everything all at once. And so I start every bow stroke, or every note, with the lower quarter without these two fingers, and then I add these two fingers here, and then I do the lower half, and then the whole bow, and then the upper half, or actually the upper quarter, and then the upper half, and then back to the whole bow. So every single bow stroke is like this. that's it. That's the whole bow warm-up. So thank you so much for watching. I hope you learned a little bit of something on one way that you can do bow warm-ups in the future. And I'll see you in my next video.